Good morning. Except it's not morning, it is 1 in the afternoon. I've been update. I've been awake for 7 hours this time. Nope. I slept. I slept for 7 hours this time. Um, Debrief after Valentine's Day. It was actually pretty good. I I got two snacks, cause I got like hella money. I got like $5. Um, and didn't get sick. I didn't get sick. Usually, okay, so I it's like kind of that scarcity mindset thing, where I overeat because it's just like, oh, I want to enjoy all of this now, and not save it for later and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's one of those things of like eating throughout the day. But I paced myself a little bit more. I still finished them, but I'm pretty sure if I would have went with the cookies that I was thinking of going with instead of shortbread, I would have for sure ended up sick. Um, and instead of only eating snacks today, because that was legit the first thing I ate, and that was the first thing I ate all day. The first thing I ate all day was sugar, which isn't good. I know it's not good. Um, but to balance it out, I just had I cooked up fish and sweet potato. That's it. That's it. That's all I had. That's what I had as a meal. And then I had Whoppers and shortbread cookies for like my eating habits are not good. They aren't. They're really bad. And I was going to so I have this We're Not Really Strangers, the game. And I find it fun to just I know it's supposed to be played with another person, but there are some questions in there where it's like they are like I feel like it would be nice to answer them myself. So I have these two questions. I'm gonna just show them off. Can I block this in? Block this in. Block my face. That's backwards. So this one says, "What is a dream you've let go of?" Who that's hard. Um, Honestly, I think it would have to be taking everyone I care about with me. Um, I've had to let go of a lot of people in my life growing up. Most of it just because growing up you don't really see them, but a lot of people I've considered as friends just because when you're growing up you don't really imagine a future, or at least I didn't really imagine a future without them. um, but I guess the dream of taking them with me is one that I've had to let go of. Because I don't know, I really I want to be that kind of person who like, the we're gonna get them out of the hood with this one. That's the kind of person I am, where I want to bring and uplift people, but like I with that I forgot and lost a lot of myself in the process. So it's like, in order to keep myself, I have to raise myself up first before I can raise up people. And I feel like a lot of people don't like realize that or notice that. Like, you have to take care of yourself first, because it's like the cup runneth over kind of thing. Once your cup overflows, then what is it called? Like that champagne wall or the tower thing. Sorry. Once your cup overflows, only then can it start filling up all the cups that are beneath you or around you. Because, yeah, and that's like lessons are hard to learn, first of all. A lot of things have to be repeated in order for it to like really stay in your head. They say that usually habits stick after you get over that third hump, um, or the third day. The first hump, is after the third day. But as long as you like keep reminding yourself, and it's also so much easier to just like give up and go back to what you already know because that's the habit that you have built. Um, but to build yourself up, I'm saying this as a person who's like, I'm saying this more to myself and my journey and stuff, but to build yourself up is a difficult thing. It's such a difficult thing when you grew up trying to support other people and finding your worth in supporting other people. Like, not gonna lie, for a moment there, I did think, or I did feel like I was kind of worthless and like wandering aimlessly, didn't have a life path because it was just like, I don't know what I should be doing. Everything that I do that is like what I'm supposed to do and what people say is how I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to help others, it just isn't working out for me. And things just aren't working out and they don't feel right to me. And I just find it struggling and like this mental strain in trying to do these things that other people are saying I need to do. And like it just felt like I was being a disappointment because I just couldn't do it. Learn how to focus on myself first rather than just like focus on what I was feeling and why it was such a difficult thing for me to do and what I actually wanted to do. Even now, I still find what I want to do confusing. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved the arts. It was just expressing myself in general. I would always, if there were a blank space, there would be a drawing on it. That was how I, that's how I kept going, right? Um, and it's not like I was a bad student. Everything, most things, not everything, but most things came really easily to me. But at the same time, it was like I still didn't feel like I was doing enough. Um, and to separate that from being my voice and being someone else's that's being pushed was a difficult thing to start to separate, and only really started doing that now in my adulthood. Um, yeah, because you could tell it's like such a hard process because it was when when I first started this journey, right? It started with feeling like I was giving up because I started breaking out of this doing what everybody else wants, being a people pleaser, just appeasing the people around me. Um, I started breaking out of that mindset in around high school, and I just felt like not necessarily that I was angry, but jaded. I felt jaded. Um, and just this feeling of there's something unfair about this, but not being able to pinpoint exactly what it was, not being able to pinpoint what it was that I was feeling, but I eventually just I the funny thing is I actually maybe even went back to 8th grade because I felt like I was starting to lose the mask back in 8th grade. Um, and people use the excuse of, oh, it's the last year that you're going to be at this school, senioritis kind of stuff. So when I was in 8th grade, I did start kind of slacking because it was just like, okay, 8th grade doesn't really matter. Sure, it is supposed to be like, oh, you're growing up into 18, you're getting more independence and stuff like that, becoming more of a person. Um, but a lot of my life, I just felt like I was drifting through. Um, and wow, my math was so, so strong in middle school. People barely noticed that I was going through things, except for my teacher. Except for my teacher. Um, but I kind of like carry that freshman year. I tried really hard to just become someone new and become more of myself. Like the mask that I was putting forth wasn't who I was in middle school because most of the people there wouldn't have known me. Um, it was more of I have this chance to be more of who I actually am. But even then, being who I was, like sophomore year, again, at the end of freshman year, I was like over it because I had a lot going on in my life at that time. I really did. Um, so sophomore year came around. I didn't have the schedule I wanted. Um, and I tried to make the best of what I could. And I started doing it, and I started falling back into that old habit of appeasing someone else to see whether that would give me purpose. Didn't work. And junior year, I like literally started having mental breakdowns because I was just, I don't want to do, I don't want to do this, but I don't know how to escape it. um, and then like even more giving up and just even more giving up and like letting things fall to the wayside. Junior year, I didn't do the musical. I was barely doing anything creative. Um, I was taking AP statistics because that's what I wanted to do for my sophomore year because I love statistics and I wanted to learn statistics, but like being in that class was just a reminder because it was mostly sophomores. It was just a reminder of how dirty I was done sophomore year and how much I just let things slide. So again, that came with more of the anger and the unfairness and feeling jaded and just being mad at the world, but at the same time not caring at all. Like I started just not caring if I hurt other people's feelings and shit like that. Or I also talked a lot of shit. I did. Um, but in a way, it was very freeing. Um, but in the way of Like my way of breaking out of my people pleaser, because the only way that you can do it is by disappointing other people, which means that at the same time you have to disappoint yourself. So I had, which is funny because I barely did let my grades drop, but like if I didn't care, I could not bring myself to care in some classes. In most of my classes, honestly, I turned in some work. I would speak up sometimes in class, but for the most part, I wasn't doing shit. And I couldn't get myself to do shit. And then senior year, I was back to masking, but at the same time, I was just like, I don't really care about school. I just want to have fun. I just want to be with my friends. Like, honestly, none of these things really matter. I took a graphics design class in high school because it was a new class one too, and it was another art class that I wanted to do. But basically, just I went back to what I truly cared about, which was the arts, in reality. Um, and I started doing the play, not necessarily because I wanted to. I didn't think that we were going to actually put it on. It started so late. Everybody was scrambling. I just liked being there. I actually had a speaking part, like someone who is like a main character. We were supposed to put on Newsies. I my first time watching Newsies was that year, so that I could know what the play was, because I don't know anything about plays. As much of them as a theater lover I didn't actually watch musicals. I didn't know where you could see them if it weren't in person, you know. Um, so I I just liked being there, and like painting the sets, learning the dances, learning the songs. Like again, I never learned my lines. I never learned my lines. And the thing is, I was supposed to have lines twice. I remember the first time I had a line in a play. It was what, third grade. I was a munchkin in The Wizard of Oz, and I did fine on the first night. It was the second night where I was just like, yeah, I got confidence. I walked up there, blinked for like a whole, it felt like a minute. It was probably like 3 seconds. Blinked. um, but yeah. Whew. Anyway, but yeah, I really had to let go of a lot in order to chase my dreams. And no one tells you that. Because, like,